Well, it's gonna happen. If I'm out there fighting, it will happen.
Hopefully, we're hoping that there's enough pay-per-view buys to keep this thing going. I mean, I think Affliction is even willing to lose a little bit. I don't want them to lose a lot, man, because they're really doing stuff along the ways that every fighter we've talked to is happy. They're happy with what they're getting paid. They're happy with the promotion. They're happy that they're. I don't know. It just seems like they're really looking out for the fighters.
Absolutely, the competition is a necessary animal. It's glad I'm glad to see Affliction stepping up and trying to do things in a big way versus a one fight thing, a one nice main event. I mean, this thing's stacked top to bottom. I don't see how any true MMA fan wouldn't want to see this card, and just the chance to see Josh Barnett fight here in the United States is a treat in itself. So I'm looking forward to it.
Couple more questions. I believe your record is 20-5. 3 of the losses come in the Kuro Cup.
I think it's 22 or 23 and 5.
23 and 5. I'm sorry.
Well, that's official record. Unofficial.
Yeah,
it's
sure. That was always
40. Well, it's not their fault because I fought unsanctioned fights. Because when I started fighting, there were no places to fight. You could go to Hook and Shoot or Extreme Challenge if you had the money to fly yourself out there or you lived out there. You could fight an Extreme Fighting Championship if you were of that level or you had that, and you could fight in UFC. But everybody was doing stuff underground. And I have a bunch of fights that were just meet a guy somewhere, pick the rules, and go at it. Or, I'd be training at the University of Montana, and I'd see somebody, in a gi doing karate or something, and just say to them, hey, you ever watch that Ultimate Fighting stuff? Oh, yeah, what do you think of that? Oh, that's pretty cool, you like it? Yeah. Want to fight? And, most of the time people just look at me like, what? What do you mean, fight? Fight? Do you want to fight? Like one of those. Like, no. But I actually got some takers at the time, and I just go out there and just brawl with people and beat the crap out of them, right? Just off center of the basketball courts, and there's a big cargo net separating the wrestling mats from the courts, and so the balls didn't go flying across. People would just stop playing basketball and just hang on the nets and watch.
Yeah,
just pummel the crap out of people, and so I'm like, I think I'm floating around like 52 fights now.
Well, the 5 losses, 3 come to Mirko. However, I'm kind of old school, and I remember because you're one of my favorite fighters, and I think I told you this in a previous interview. After one of the fights, you were very humble in defeat, very articulate in the interview. It was a post-fight interview. You were still sweating. You said, "Wow, I really got to look back if I'm gonna take the sport serious." It seemed like you wanted to revisit probably losing because you came in heavy. I think it was the first loss. And then since then, man, you went on a tear. You really came in thinner.
It was the second loss. Yeah, I took that fight way too soon, and there was no reason for me to be trying to fight at the very top level yet. I wasn't ready, but I have too much, not so much ego, but pride. Fighting doesn't mean anything. I'll fight anybody. I don't really care about that. Fighting is easy, and it's only when I step back and I think about what that damages on the business side of things, what that's going to do to how I'm going to have to deal with all that other crap. It's not just like I can, I lost a fight. All right, I'll just come back here a week later and just, hey buddy, you want to try that again? No, it doesn't work that way. And
that's what I was getting at is, I'm wondering, do you have that desire to fight Mirko? Because I wish you would fight him. And one of them, obviously, you had just been in a war with Nogueira, and Mirko had a quick win over Vanderlei. You got matched up, you couldn't see, and that was, I believe, a verbal submission. The other one, you had an injury where you just had to, I think, basically tap out because you were injured.
I dislocated my shoulder. What was I going to do?
Exactly.
And, the other one, it wasn't through anybody's fault, but I was trying to scoop his leg and go after a leg lock, and I think he just went to post out, and I just got a whole eye full of finger. Somebody said that my orbital broke, and I was talking about that. I'm like, no, my orbital didn't break. I got a gouge real bad, and I saw Goodrid get gouged in the eye. I saw somebody else get gouged in the eye, and the refs just let their opponents just waylay the shit out of them. And
especially with soccer kicks. Oh my god!
And all I could think of was, one, I can't see right now. 2, this guy ain't gonna save me for nothing. I don't even know where I'm at right now. So I tapped, and now I think, I see the tape, and Mirko stopped. And the ref stopped, and I'm like, I should have just. But things happen so quickly. I don't train to. Hey, what happens when you get poked in the eye? Although I was training with Jamie Fletcher coming for this fight, and I did get gouged in the eye again, and I could barely see out of the one, and my other was trying to close, but I kept sparring. I didn't let him know that happened, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna see what happens. I'm gonna work through this. So I feel a lot better. I feel like. Incidentally, like I've had a little more experience in dealing with, eye full of finger.
Right. You're real close to your fighters. I've seen you in corners and all that stuff. Jamie Fletcher, he was gonna have a fight, I believe, in San Diego. Got canceled.
Yeah,
right?
the card got canceled. Yeah.
We did an up and comer segment with him because we identified him as a young up and coming prospect. How's he doing? And does he have a fight coming up?
Well, he's older than I am, so not that young.
Oh, okay. Young in the sport.
Jamie's doing awesome. He's a full-fledged member of our CSW team. He is indispensable. He's been there for me day in, day out. He's bringing Mighty Mo down now, so I'll have another big guy to work with. He's been helping everybody as much as he can. He helps the women like Janelle and Shannon. He's there just not only physically, but he's a big mental supporter too. I mean, he's cheering. He's right there. Anything anybody needs. I mean, he's been great, and I'm glad to have Jamie down with us. I think that he's a perfect fit for us. I think that together, like with having Babalu there, that this is the place that they belong. And you know, for me, it is very important to be close. My fight team is supposed to be, you know, my backup, my boys. If we go somewhere and hell breaks loose, they're going to be standing right next to me, you know, kicking, punching, biting, anything that comes close to us.
Does that still happen?
It don't, but there have been a few times where, you know, stuff is.
Get mean mugged on the streets of Fullerton?
No, yeah, the streets of Fullerton, right? Over on the beach side of things, there's nothing but like Korean restaurants, you know. Yeah, they're really gonna start, you know, big rumble with us. But
20 on 3.
Yeah, well, I don't know. You know, we're in the Korean barbecue restaurant. It's like that's a pretty hefty bill if we all jump them and they don't pay it.
This is true.
Plus, we got Randy Kim, who's a Korean shot putter, and he's training K1, and we fight in August. And, you know, he could diffuse that for us, and we got an in.
EP, he fought about a year ago. Was that just an itch you wanted to scratch, or does he plan on still fighting?
Who's that?
Eric Paulson.
Eric Paulson? Hard to
He's
say.
taking some time away.
Yeah.
You're still at that gym, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
But I don't know what Eric's intentions are. I know as far as Saturday, he's going to be in my corner. But other than that, I don't know where the fighting lies for Eric. I know he liked getting in the ring and go out there and beating Jeff Ford, but you'd have to ask him on where his head is on getting back in the ring.